Hey guys, I'm Mariana. If you're new here, if you're not, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to get this beautiful brown ombre cut crease. Super easy and super interesting. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is what my face looks like before. I didn't really prep my eyes, but I did put some foundation or concealer, but no eyeshadow primer. And this is the palette I'm using, which is the Tarte BU Naturally palette. You can use any brown neutral tone palette, and this is the brush I'm going in with. It is a dense, short, rounded brush, and I'm going in with this dark brown shade first. So the first thing that I'm going ahead and doing is kind of just outlining the crease and just filling it in with this dark brown shade. So this is going to be the darkest part of the crease and the lid area. This is really going to add some definition to the crease and just kind of set it up for a really nice contrasting cut crease. So I'm using this like dense flat blending brush to really get in and create like a nice even brown base, and I'm also going to go ahead and blend out the edges with it after I kind of cover the entire crease. So I like to use this flat dense brush because I can just turn it to the side and then I can kind of buff out the edges and kind of blend it out, and this makes it super easy to go ahead and add a transition shade and blend another shade onto the shade that you're already working on. So I'm basically just, like I said, blending out the outer edges and making sure that it is kind of dissipated and easier for me to blend in the next shade. Then I went ahead and did the same thing on the other side. I also kind of winged the brown eyeshadow out a little bit as well, because we are going for that uplifted kind of cat eye cut crease moment. So this is what it looks like after the edges are blended out. Then I went in with this neutral kind of brown tone transition shade on the same brush, and I actually flipped the brush to the side, and this is going to make it easier and just make it look a little bit more blended with the brown shade. So basically I am just concentrating most of the pigment onto where the brown is already, and then toward the edges where there is no shadow I'm kind of releasing pressure from the brush and just trying to really get that nice faded blended look. I definitely recommend using the side of the brush and working from where the dark brown eyeshadow is already and then kind of fading it up as you go. You can also kind of use the transition shade to make the wing a little bit more extended. So this is just an easy way to kind of drag out the eyeshadow and uplift your eye and make a larger cat eye shape without really making a dark wing toward the outer corner and having that look a little bit too dark. Next, I'm taking this concealer. This is the Maybelline SuperStay concealer. You can use any light or white concealer that you have, and I'm using this concealer brush, and here we're going to start cutting the crease with the concealer. So this is just going to create a really nice eyelid shape, and it's really going to uplift your eye and kind of prep it and prime it for the nice contrasting cut crease situation we're going for. So I basically started in the inner corner and then I followed my crease and then I kind of just winged it out. So I'm super used to my eye shape, and you should be used to your eye shape first, as well. But if you aren't, definitely practice and see what kind of like cut crease or winged out crease shape looks good on you. But I know for sure that this looks good and this goes with my eye shape, so I'm pretty used to doing this. But basically I just followed my crease and winged it out and kind of like going up toward my eyebrow tail. So then I just went ahead and filled in the whole entire lid area with the concealer, and that is basically it for this step. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. I also recommend when you do put the initial kind of line on the crease to open your eyes and look straight ahead. That way you can see where the crease lies or where it stays when you do have your eyes open. So you'll be able to see the whole cut crease when your eyes are open. Then I went ahead and took this Real Techniques kind of kabuki brush. If you don't have this brush, I recommend using something that's short and dense. This is just going to be used to kind of blend out the concealer on the lid. So this is just going to really prep the base for the shadow that we're about to put on. This is just going to make sure that the base is like really nice and even, and it's going to prevent any patchiness from the eyeshadow that we're going to kind of fill in the lid with. And then I also kind of blended out the outer edges as well. So this is what it looks like, ready for eyeshadow application. Then I went in with this flat, dense Anastasia brush that comes with all of the Anastasia palettes, and I went in with this really light white cream eyeshadow from the same palette, and I am putting this literally just like lining the creased line with it, going all the way out to the outer wing. If you don't have a brush like this, I just recommend using a brush that is kind of small, that is easy to control where you're placing the eyeshadow, and that the top of it is like kind of flat or rounded, or just easy to make sure that you won't kind of get the eyeshadow or like mess it up or muddy up that line, because like the cut crease, the whole idea of a cut crease is to have a really nice sharp crease line. So after I applied the white shadow, I went in with this dark brown shadow, which is the first shade that we used, and I'm kind of just creating kind of like an eyeliner situation with this eyeshadow. So I'm starting at the outer corner, and that is where I want the darkest part of the brown shadow to be, and then I'm kind of just like widening it out from there, and also creating a wing. And I'm also kind of trying to keep it like as thin, or pretty thin for me. I don't need it to be like a really thick kind of liner shadow, because we are going in with one more shade after this. So I just kind of put it along my lash line and winged it out as well. So this is what we have going on right now. Then I went back in with the transition shade, which is the second shade that we used on our lid, and I just put that in between the white and the dark brown on the lid. This is just gonna really create a nice gradient, and it just adds like a really nice finishing touch, as opposed to just having a white bright shadow and then just like a dark brown shadow. So this is just like something that you wouldn't really think of, but it does make a huge difference. So this is the last shade that I'm using for this eyeshadow look. Super easy, and I'm just like blending it into the brown shadow and kind of like making it like blend into both of the shades, but that was pretty much all that I did. Then I went in with some LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is just to clean up the outer edge. So this is going to really tie the whole entire look together. This is going to make that dark brown shadow on my lid look more of like eyeliner, and really just uplift the whole entire eyeshadow look. And it's also going to make sure that both of the eyes look very symmetrical. So I just literally started from the outer corner of where my eyelids meet, and then I just dragged it up and kind of followed that line that I already have there when I cut my crease with the concealer. Then I just kind of dragged it out toward my under eye area. I also want to mention that you should use a concealer that kind of matches whatever color you have going on under your eyes, so that it's just easier to blend out and it looks more seamless, because you don't want to have like a really white line under your eyeshadow wing. That's just gonna look weird. But yes, then I went ahead and applied some mascara. So this is the final look. I did not end up using falsies because I felt like this looked fine, but you definitely can. You can also go in with eyeliner in your waterline, or even smoke out your lower lash line if you are going for more of a dramatic look. But let me know what you guys think about this look. It was super easy to do. Definitely practice if this looks a little bit complicated, but I promise you it isn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!